What's up guys, welcome back. In this video I am going to show you 10 Linux commands that you can use to impress your friends. Now these commands are mostly useless, while one or two is actually useful, but most of them are extremely useless, so don't try to fool people who have developed in Linux. They'll just probably laugh at you. But these will work on your friends who do not know Linux or computers at all. It will make them think that you're a hacker. So let's get on to the video. So I am in my Linux machine right now with an open terminal. Now I am using Ubuntu, and that will be the distro I will be performing this on. Now all of these commands are pre-installed, so some other distros might not have these commands, but trust me guys, you can just do a simple command to install all of them. So the first command I will show you is the top command, which is equivalent of Task Manager in Windows. So you just type top and you click enter, and you can see this looks pretty complicated. Now this isn't complicated, trust me guys, this is just your task manager. You can see all the threads, but to an outsider this looks like you're hacking into the matrix. So that is a pretty short and simple command, very light. Some people may think that you are hacking, which is kind of the point here. So let us exit. To exit, you press Q on your keyboard, and you can see it has been exited. Next command is similar to top. It is installed with my machine. You might have to run sudo apt-get install htop, but since I have this, I won't not run it. I'll just run the command, and it is htop in fact, which is basically a clone of top, except for it gives you a more nice color. This makes it look even more professional with all these colors and stuff. Now this is actually useful if you're debugging which worker thread or which process is misbehaving. So this might actually have a use, but otherwise this is all just junk. You don't need this. You don't need to keep on opening this unless you want to impress your friends. But other than that, you can see your memory, and you can see your CPU loads and all the percentages and the clock cycles and all of that. So htop is a pretty good tool, but not really much use if you do not need it. So I'm just going to leave it there. Oh, and to quit, you press Q again, and this will bring you back to this interface. Alright, the next command we will do is a little bit more complicated, but I feel like is still in the beginner realm. It's the ping command. You can see lots of hackers in movies have used this ping command. Now this legitimately has a use. So what this does is that it sends packets to whatever IP you specify. So that's why some hackers in the movies, they use the ping command, because it actually has a use. But if you're really doing networking, you'll know that this command is kind of useless. There's way advanced tools, way more advanced. So enough talking, let's just run this. I'm going to ping my gateway, and you can see that it looks pretty complicated. There's a lot of things going on. I won't go into detail, but this is basically saying that we are receiving packets from this IP address, which is my router here. And there's a bunch of other stuff, that looks complicated. This is the, sequence, and this is the delay between the times. You can see most of them are pretty good. I won't go into too detail on this. This is just, a tutorial to fool your friends. But I might make another video just on the networking aspect of it. So to exit this view, you type Control-C. The same thing you'll do, copy and paste, and it'll give you like a summary, just like that. So that is the ping command. And up next we have, let's see here. We can do, alright. In number 4, we will do Iostat. Now, Iostat is another command similar to top, but except for it tells you your CPU information. So once we run it, you can see that similar to htop, there's a bunch of colors and whatnot floating around. This usually has no use to the general Linux community, but if you're working on kernel developing or if you're debugging your motherboard, this will be very useful. So just note that not everything in this list is useless. These are extremely useful, especially I guess this one, and htop is useful. Alright, the next command is actually extremely useful because people will recommend you to type this command regardless whether you want to impress your friend or not. And that is the sudo apt update and upgrade command. So I'm just going to type it, so sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade. So what these commands do is that they upgrade your apt package manager, and it upgrades it. So whether you want to do it or not, I recommend you do it like every month or every time you feel like it is time to upgrade, because new versions of your software will get released, and the only way to update them is through this. Well, I mean, not the only way, but this is the easiest way to update your packages is through this command. And also it looks cool. So once we press enter, it'll basically list all the things they will try to update. And I don't know, it just looks pretty cool. It looks like something coming out of a hacker movie, but it will just continue to fetch repositories online and archives. And then you can see it says reading package list right here, and it's 38. I'm just not gonna wait. Actually, now that it's done, we can. Alright, so basically it'll list out everything that it wants to upgrade. Now you can say yes, or you can say no. You can see if I press yes, it will update all of these things. Now depending on which one you need, these things should be updated. But for the sake of this demonstration, I'm just click no. But that is the what was it? What are we on? 5th command? Yeah, 5th command that we will be using to impress your friends. You can do that, and this is also pretty useful, so you should probably use it anyways. Alright, coming up next is probably one of the useless commands, I would say, and that would be to change your directory to /bin and os tag l. Now what this does is it lists everything in your bin directory. Now you can change this to any folder, but bin directory has some pretty weird symbols, and that's why I picked that. So we can run this command, and you can see it lists a lot of things. Now this is pretty useless. Again, you shouldn't touch the bin directory no matter what. But this looks pretty complicated, especially you have some different, colors here and some dates. But all this does is it lists your file directory or your file name, lists the date it was modified, and it lists the permissions over here. I might make another video on what these mean, but this is pretty complicated to a person who do not know Linux. Alright, so that is our 6th command. Our 7th command is a TCP dump. Now, to run TCP dump, you will need super user privileges. So we do sudo TCP dump, and you can see it is basically dumping the data from your TCP port. Now, this is another advanced networking tool, so not really going to explain how this works. It might require another video. But you can see it also looks pretty complicated for outsider. If I does not know Linux, I would probably think you are hacking, into the matrix right now. But I am just going to exit out of that because it will continue to capture packets, and we want that to stop. Alright, next up on our list is another command. I believe I have not done this yet, but it is, let's see. Have I done this yet? Maybe I have. Let me scroll up to find. I'm forgetting some things. I think I have ran Iostat, but I'm not sure if I ran. Okay, you know what? Okay, wait. Let's see if we. Okay, so yeah, we ran Iostat, so that's good and covered. Alright, so then the next thing on our list is let's see, we can do Alright, let us do another semi-useless list, and that will be the tail command. So we will do tail, tag F, and then any direct you want to use. So we can do var, you can do user, you can do etc, you can do dev, you can do bin. It doesn't matter. So let's see which directory I'm willing to show. So I'm going to cd to the root directory. All right, so we have let's try to do var. So cd var. Oops, did not type ls correctly. All right, so let's try log. Let's try our log file. So let's cd to log. Alright, so we do have some things we can use tail with. So we can do tail, tag F, and let us do auth.log. These are just logs, internal logs. There's nothing going on here. Alright, so let's do auth.log. And you can see that this outputs some things. So it depending on how long it is, you can pretty much fool some people with this. Alright, let's see if we can get a longer log file, because that one was too short. It doesn't look that interesting. Try boot.log. So tail, tag F, boot.log. And I do not have permission. Let's try sudo. Oh right, I forgot to mention, if you're doing these, you must have sudo privileges, because you want to access your system files. So yeah, usually you will have sudo privileges, but other than that, you can use the other commands like top, which doesn't need sudo. So you can see this is my boot log, but to outsiders this looks like something out of, I don't know, you know, a movie or something. But that is another command you can use. Alright, I believe, okay, second to last command is our, okay, so this command, nano here, is a text editor command. Now, this text editor might not be installed on other distros, so to install it, again, use apt-get install nano. But since I already have it, I'm just going to type nano, and the thing you will be opening in this text editor is in your user and include directory. So before we open it, let's change our directory to there. So we're going to cd here, include. You can see we have a lot of C header files, and these are used to basically, it's your standard library for C or C++, depending on which one, because I can see these should be C because there's a .h extension. Alright, so you can see you can pick any one of these to open and it'll work. So let us try our malloc.h. We can do that, or we can do memory.h. If you really want to fool your friends, you can say I'm hacking into your memory. So let's do that. And of course, please just ignore the copyright, because that is not okay. So this one does not have a lot of contents in here, so this doesn't look good. So let's see if we can find a long header file. Let's try malloc again. And I do not believe that this is long either. Okay, this is long. Alright, good. So you can hold down your down arrow on your keyboard. And okay, so this one's not that long either. But you can see this looks like you are hacking. Okay, let me try the standard input output. Let's just do that. Alright, so let's do this. This should have a novel. And you can see file stdlib.h is unwritable, which is good, so you don't have to worry about changing anything, because it will not prevent you from changing it anyway. So you can just scroll down, and people will think, what are you doing? What are you hacking into, NASA or something? No, this is just your standard file. So that is the second to last thing, and the last thing is by far the most useless command is inside dev.urandom. So let's cd into our dev directory. So this, and then let's list it. You can see we have a bunch of terminals and stuff, but we're interested is in the urandom thing. So now this urandom is your pseudo random generator for your Linux machine. So we will list out this urandom. It is right here somewhere. Urandom, yes, right here. You can see my cursor. So we will print it out. Actually, now that we don't need that. Okay, so we can just print it out. You can see it prints random characters because it's generating random characters as we speak. But this doesn't look like, this just looks like you broke a installation of Minecraft or something. So let's exit out of this. There is a way to spice it up. Alright, so we're gonna basically type this as always. So cat urandom. But instead of printing out these, we are going to pipe it into a hex dump. That way, it won't look as, you know, unprofessional as this, because people think that you broke something instead of hacking something with whatever the hell is going on here. So we're gonna pipe into hex dump. Once we run it, you can see now it looks way better. So hex dump. All right, and now there's a cherry on top. What we can do is we can pipe it to a grep where we can filter by regular expression. Let's see, we can change our color of the hex dump. So we can do color equals auto, and then it'll filter for every byte that starts with CA and FE. So that, once we run it, you can see it'll see all CAFE. It'll change it to auto or a random color. In this case, is red. So, or you can change this color by going to the terminal settings. By the way, so we can also filter out for stuff like, okay, I don't know, C618. So we can do C618, and then we can also do, I don't know, random numbers here. 48, D9, or D8, like that. Once we run this, you can see a lot more red should be able to pop up. And yeah, I'm just going to leave that there for you to see. Alright, that is pretty much it. All the 10 commands we basically have. Alright, now I will give you guys a bonus command. Not really a command. It's a Python program that I developed. It is in Sublime. And what this does is that it will make it look like you are hacking, except for it actually uses Python to do it. So what you can do is you can open this, and let's see. Okay, so alright, so my thing is in documents / stuff. That's where I keep my scripts and stuff, hence the name. Alright, let's not, okay, so, and, oh, right, I forgot, home directory. Alright, just like that, and I am not going to list the directory for security reasons, but just know that this thing is in here. I will copy and paste this in the description so you can fool around too. But what you can do is you can do Python 3 init.py, and you can see it'll start running this script I did. So you can see it says starting initialization script, setting random neural network weights, random sign weights, and you can see all of these are just random junk. I typed this, so it'll always initialize this. So you can use this for fooling around, but that's pretty much it. Alright, so it asks if you proceed. I click yes, and it says starting convolutional neural networks, and then it says, okay, you have a bunch of other things like some random. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. So it's printing a random value, comma, random value, comma, random value. So you get the point of it. And you can see it says establishing connection with nasa.gov, list our IP address here. And yeah, so basically this is your script here that you can use. I'm going to see if I can copy and paste this in the description if there's enough room, that is. And then you can copy and paste it and you can run it and people think you're hacking. So that is pretty much it for oh, of course there's an error because I interrupted. Alright, but that is it for today's video. Hopefully you learned something, and I'll see you in the next one.